Welcome to the Glorious Pro Wrestling Podcast, where two nice boys talk about pro wrestling. I'm Andy. With me is Danny, as always, and today we have a special guest. Appearances for Prestige, Defy, DOA, Peak Wrestling, 365 Wrestling, Nation Extreme Wrestling, SOS Pro, POW Pro. Hell, he's even been on WWE TV. He is a DOA Pure Champion, Cole Rivera. Welcome. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, guys. That was probably the greatest intro I've ever received. I need to write that down and save that.
Do we miss anything that was off the list?
No, I don't want to be nitpicky. You know, it was good. It was great. It was great. I don't necessarily need to go on about all the other accolades and everything like that.
I mean, we will have time for that later.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that stuff later.
I'm sure it'll come up. I
don't need to get too generous. I'm taking this off though.
Yeah, pop it off. Pop that top off. Get comfy.
All right.
So there's usually a way we start this off. I want to do it a little bit different. If I wanted to ask you right off the bat, do you remember the day that we met?
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
So I know there was a couple of years worth of AEW shows. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second
either,
one
yeah.
that they were in Portland. But I remember, I don't know if you guys were like a little bit in front of me or next to me or what. But I just remember I was like sitting there hanging out, like talking to Andy a little bit during the show. We were just fans in the bleachers and the grandstands in Portland for Dynamite. And I remember talking to Andy, was kind of you giving me the spiel of like what you guys wanted to do that eventually became this podcast and Pacific Wrestling and everything like that.
He was giving me a pitch.
He was giving me a business pitch, and I'm like, dude, I'm just a kid, man. No,
yeah,
just kind of explaining that, and it was very early on. Like, I don't even think I had started wrestling yet, or maybe I had just started training or something, but I was not really doing anything yet. Nothing compared to this intro you gave me, at least.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, yeah, man, there's like a bunch of independent promotions in Portland that like I was just discovering. So of course, hearing somebody else's passion, I'm like, dude, you got to check this stuff out too. And then I remember you guys came to a DOA show. I think it was at the Elks Lodge back when we were up in like
it would have been
Northeast Portland.
Yeah, you got it.
It was the first one.
Eagles Lodge, yeah.
The airing of grievances.
So many lodges.
There's so many lodges.
We got a lot of lodges. But then you guys started coming out to that, and then I started seeing you guys' stuff on Instagram and everything like that, and it kind of just we've both been kind of growing simultaneously, which is really cool.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, like, I was curious, like, where you were, whether you had started, and how that event was working for you while that was like on your mind. Like, were you watching stuff differently, or were you just like kicking back and enjoying wrestling?
So whenever I like buy tickets to a show, or I believe this case I went to one with my dad, I try my best to like turn my brain off and not be in wrestling mode.
Cool.
And it's gotten to the point where it's even with like other things that I go to, or like tonight I'm gonna go to the UFC fights at my buddy's house. I'm gonna be watching stuff, and I know I'm gonna be looking for something, whether it's like how to sell something differently, or oh, that kick was cool as hell, or something like that, right? So my brain is always essentially in some sort of wrestling mode of what I can steal for when. I love going to like festivals and concerts and stuff too, and I'll see the way people either market or their designs of things, and I'll be like, oh, that's cool, maybe I could steal that for wrestling. So it's always kind of been on my mind. I have my computer right here, so I'm cheating to try and see when they were in Portland.
It had to be 2023 because it was. I remember it was
November 8th, 2023. So I would have just debuted for DOA. So
okay, so you were well in training.
I started training in March of 2023. And then in November, I would have just had my first or second match, probably around second match on an actual show. So we're talking brand new.
So that's like what, 8 months of training?
Just about the 8-month mark.
And how was that first? How were those first couple matches for you? After, I mean, it's less than a year. 8 months seems pretty
Yeah,
short to me.
yeah, of
How'd those
course.
first? How'd you feel?
First couple matches, obviously, you think a lot of things are hits and a lot of things aren't. Um,
Mhm.
I'm still very much in that growing stage, right? I'm
Sure.
just over 2 years in, and everything is a new experience, right? You have to constantly keep learning and evolving and everything like that. But to go back to like 8 months in, I really couldn't tell you because I feel like there's been so much change and growing up and like in and out of wrestling, right? Like life is just insane sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking back to like November of 2023, and it's kind of like this new thing that I'm pursuing that like kind of starting to tell more of my friends about because it's like there actually is some legs here now versus now it's just like, yeah, man, I'm a wrestler and I like to think I'm doing pretty well.
Mhm.
So still forming that confidence when it comes to this.
When did that click that that was something you were gonna do? Like, I think, we're fans. I think we're all fans here, but like we all
Mhm.
fantasize about it. But like, when did you mentally gear shift into like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go do this. I've made up my mind and
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a shot.
Yeah. So I think there was one moment where I was working at a coffee shop at the time, and I just like told my coworkers that I was just like gonna go train one night, and that ended up being my first night of training.
Mhm.
But that kind of got me into the actual school. But when I found out I wanted to become a wrestler, it goes back to probably 2016, 2017. I am just discovering like Ring of Honor. Because this is when like the Young Bucks and Bullet Club and all those guys are really starting to take off. So I'm just
Yeah.
discovering
Yeah.
the indies.
Damn.
And I'm watching Ring of Honor, and I remember they used to do tail of the tapes before every single match or most matches at least. And both my parents are 5'5". I'm 6 foot, 6'1". So growing up, I had no idea if I was even going to be tall enough to become a wrestler.
Right.
And I think I was in like eighth grade or freshman year, excuse me, or something. I was very, very young, but still kind of starting to learn that there's a possibility to do this. And excuse me, sorry. I think it might have been Adam Cole. I saw they did the tail of the tape and it only said like 5'8" or 5'9", or it was somebody else maybe. I don't remember who it was specifically, but they were like a main event guy in Ring of Honor. And the tail of the tape said like 5'8", 5'9", something along those lines. And I was like, "Oh, I got this. We
I'll
can
get
do this
there.
now."
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I can at least get there. And if these guys are successful in doing all of this stuff, I'm gonna be just fine. So that
Was
was
there
kind of the
someone
moment it clicked where I was like, I have no excuse now.
was there someone on Ring of Honor when you were watching it that you were like,
Mhm.
this is kind of like what the style I want to do, or did that kind of just come naturally?
Uh, yes and no. I think with every wrestler, there's this style you want to embody and these people you want to mimic and steal, whether it be moves or gimmick things from. And then you start doing it and you realize, oh, this is way harder than I thought, or
Mm.
this just doesn't feel as cool as it looks. Um, I don't necessarily, the guys that stuck out to me were all the Bullet Club guys. I loved those guys. I think early Ring of Honor days, like my guy was Marty. Um,
Marty
I really
Scurll.
liked his yes, I really liked his style at the time and everything. So I really enjoyed watching him a lot. But nobody like Marty, Adam Cole, just all those kind of early Bullet Club guys because they were just like it's this new thing that's not WWE, and these are like the
Hmm.
cool bad boys, and I'm young, so I'm like, these guys are the coolest people ever, and everybody else is saying they're the coolest people ever, so it was all those guys.
That was the time that era was insane for
Yeah.
indie wrestling, especially for them like New Japan and Ring of Honor and kind of just climbing up and making a whole new thing that evolved into AEW and all that.
Yeah.
You had a pretty big year in 2025. I mean,
Mhm.
DOA Pure Champion.
Here it
Yeah,
comes.
you've had big
Go
matches.
ahead.
Keep listing them. Uh, but is there anything that for you had like your 2025 list of matches that you wanted? Did any
Right.
of those stand out to you as like, damn, this person really took me to the limit?
I think everybody in their own different ways. Um, so when I think of these matches, and this is actually something I made back in like June of 2023. So
Oh
we're
wow.
talking like I had just done crew for like my first Roseland show. And so I'm starting to figure out like, okay, these are the guys that are at like the next level. These guys are they're really good wrestlers in this area.
Hmm.
Um, so everybody for their own different reasons and reasons that I can and can't say in the realms of like wrestling and giving away too much.
Sure.
Um, I think it's just ultimately realizing, and this is something that some of them it sucks because you see these people's names and you want to go and have this crazy like just banger match and like this is going to be a star-making performance and
Hmm.
you realize like these guys are the next level because they're just at the next level, you know? So there's times where I was pushed super hard and I wasn't able to necessarily keep up. And that's a learning experience for me. And it's taking away, I feel like a politician right now. I'm like not answering your question.
No, you're good.
Um, and so it's having these hard learning experiences, but also realizing like I'm not gonna have these learning experiences if I'm not in the ring with these guys.
Right. Yeah.
So like the big one I'm thinking of right now was like when I wrestled Judas Icarus up at Nation Extreme Wrestling. That guy's just next level. My gas tank was not there. Like
He
I could just
flies.
not.
He flies
Yeah.
around the fucking room.
And I like to think I'm in good shape. I can go and everything like
Sure,
that.
yeah.
It's next level, dude. And then there's guys like Cody, where I get in the ring with him, and we just have very kind of quick chemistry, and we have the match of the year at DOA. And so there's different things to learn from everybody.
Absolutely. And you never want to ditch that mindset, no matter how
No,
far
not
you
at all.
go.
Yeah.
Do you
Um,
have
yeah.
anything coming up for 2026 you can drop? Like who one on a list that you might want?
Um, Honestly, I tried to make a 2026 list, and I did. Um, I don't necessarily want to like give that away because also I'm selfish and want to keep things to myself. And if it doesn't happen, I'll view myself as a failure and never forgive myself.
Sure.
Um, but I'm very excited. I'm wrestling Sonico at DOA in February, the
Nice.
night after Roseland. So I'm very excited for that. I actually found out in 2024, it was in May. I found out I was wrestling him in June, so the next month. The booker for DOA was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to you and Sonico next month." That was gonna be like my first like big match, and
Right,
then
right.
that night is when I blew my knee out, got hurt,
Shit.
um,
Damn.
and so I had that all kind of dissipate. So I'm excited for this one for personal reasons of like it was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but for one reason or another, it never did. And then now I like to think that I'm at a level that I can go and I can
Nice.
keep up and have a really good match.
That's gonna be great too.
Yeah. Speaking of that too, something like that happens really early on in your career.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. Like, you're a great example of perseverance and overcoming that. What was that rehab
Mhm.
like? What was it like being on the shelf?
It really puts into perspective for myself at least, like how badly do I want this? Because there's always going to be injuries. I think if you look at any roster of any amount of talent, everybody's been hurt or injured once. So now moving forward, my training is very much what I can do to avoid that and avoid those little things here and there, right? So, um, working a lot of like the boring muscles and like stabilizers and stuff in training and warming up. Um, but then being on the shelf, man, it sucks because I
Yeah.
was
What were you doing?
nothing, nothing at all, man. I just turned 21. I was out. I was partying all the time, going out with my friends and limping behind and not doing anything to get back into wrestling, right? Um,
I
I'm very
mean,
stubborn, so I
yeah.
knew I would.
Okay.
Um, I kind of had this idea of like I got to go back for some reason or another. But it's also like I haven't done anything. Nobody knows who I am. Why do I need to? Like maybe this is a sign. So it was a constant mental battle of like I haven't done anything. I don't need to come back because I have
Mm.
nothing to prove. I got nothing to keep pushing, right? I've worked 4 or 5 shows. And then also the idea of like, okay, well, if I don't, I'm never gonna know what I can and can't do.
Right. Were you still watching wrestling? Were you still keeping up with the folks you trained with and keeping a finger on the pulse, or did you just kind of like put that in a box,
I pretty much put it in a box. Like
focus
I
on
didn't,
getting healthy, and you're like, I'll
yeah,
cross the bridge when I get
I
healthy?
still like worked out and like tried to stay in shape, of course, but I had very little to no motivation to come back to wrestling or to
Wow.
even like do the right things. And that's not to say I quit or anything. I'll joke
Obviously
around
not.
and say that I retired. Um, but it's just like I'm gonna be out for 6 or 7 months. I'll start worrying about this at month 5, you know? And that's
Got
kind
it.
of what I did. And it's not, I don't think it's the right way to approach things at all. I would definitely go back and like still show up to training and show up for these shows and stuff. But
Got it.
it's also, I just, it wasn't what motivated me at the time.
Yeah, and like again, it's all learning how to
Yeah.
rehab, learning how to be injured, learning how to function. Like
Yeah.
it was gonna happen one way or another.
Yeah.
Um, in a way, it's maybe good that it happened that early, maybe not. But you're back,
Yeah.
obviously. How did that feel coming back?
Uh, Nerve-wracking. Like to think about the fact that my first like DOA, for example, that's kind of where my bread and butter are right now. Is where like
Sure.
my ultimate focus
Yeah.
is growing and helping do as much as I can for DOA, right? And I didn't wrestle from May until January. So my first match back was in January of this year or 2025. So to go from, you know, not having wrestled, not being back, I don't know what it's going to be like. I knew like I was starting to kind of build a connection with fans and stuff, but that's just
Mhm.
like if you stick around long enough, hopefully something's bound to happen for you. And that's kind of where I was at. Was I was just making up the numbers. Um, I wasn't supposed to debut when I did. There's a whole bunch of different things that go into that, right? But I was essentially just nothing to make me stand out. I was making up the numbers. So coming back was like, all right, let's go back and start doing this thing again. Um, and then start like getting more eyes on me. And I start hearing things back and forth about maybe getting this here and maybe this match goes this way. And then when I found out I was wrestling Drake for the first time and all of these other things started to flow together. And now it's going from not having wrestled and making my return or essentially a re-debut
Yeah.
Mhm.
um, in DOA to having match of the year and being a champion by the end of the year is like better than anything I could ask for.
And you're the way I kind of hear you describe it is these things are kind of falling into place
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
What do you think helps that? Is it your look? Is it your work ethic? Is it do
It's
you
it's my
come to
work
the
ethic.
table with ideas? Okay,
It's both. So I'm always looking for ways to grow and ways to improve.
great.
Um, it's a conversation that I think a lot of wrestlers in this area um, might think they might be stagnant or not getting the opportunities they want or anything like that. And yeah, of course, if I'm the drizzling shits and I suck, like work on that. But it's I'll go up and ask these people or these important people, promoters, hey, what do I need to do to improve this? And I remember at DOA, like I asked the booker, I was like, hey, how can I make my matches mean something? Because I went from making up the numbers to now it's like well, I'm back. I don't want to just make up the numbers here. You could have any guy come in and be a weekend warrior, right? And come back and do this. No, I want to do this at the highest level I can. How do I make my matches mean something? And the simple answer is just cut promos for every match. Okay, cool. I'll do that. No problem. Done. And I think that's helped lead to this pure championship run and being trusted with that ball, right? It's
Hmm.
proving you can do these little things, but that's not to say my work ethic isn't top notch. You know, I like to think that I train hard in and out of the ring. I've been working with Coach Tome at Body Biz recently, so I'm hoping that this next, like this February DOA show and everything, I'll be in incredible shape, and I'm in very good shape now. But it's taking things to the next level. And I love this pure championship. I have elevated it to the main event. I have done these things, right? But I want to be in the main event now consistently. So I need to do what I can do to step it up. And it's constantly finding ways to grow and improve and just make everything that I do mean something.
You
Yeah.
looking to put on some more muscle? You looking to put on some weight?
Not put on weight right now. No, as I said before, that gas tank was a little bit of an issue at the end of the
Okay,
year.
okay.
So,
I
so
was
we're
gonna be like, how much weight you throwing up, dude? How much you
no,
benching
no, no.
squatting these days?
I'm still pretty strong, but looking to just kind of cut out a little bit. We got this last Roseland coming up,
Yep.
and I can't reveal too much about that yet. And that
Yes.
whole weekend is just going to be stupid for me. Um, so I don't want to just look like, hey, here's this local guy from Portland who's kind of over, right? I wanted to get the eyes on me. I need to stand out
Yeah.
in what I can
Oh,
do, right?
dude,
Because
I'm a super I love body guys wrestlers, whether that's like
yeah,
leaner or like bigger. Like it
yeah,
really helps as a fan, just like
yeah, of course.
suspend that disbelief. You know what I mean? You're like, that
Yeah.
looks like a fucking athlete that belongs
Like
in
if we
there.
look at this last Roseland, right, where it was the 8-man tag. Okay, cool. I got 7 other guys that, yeah, I got 3 on my team, 4 on the other team, but
Hmm.
selfishly, like opportunities are handed to one person at a time. I got to
Hmm.
be the one who stands out in this moment to like elevate myself. And so I'll do everything I can to I want to help and make other people look as good as possible, but I'm selfish and I want this for myself. So I'm going to do everything I can to upgrade that.
Yeah.
You've been on DOA at least. You've been running with a crew of
Mhm.
guys pretty regularly.
Mhm.
Talk about that a little bit. Bring some people up to speed. How did you come into that? How did you fall in with those guys?
So at Prestige, I've been running with Sid Silem, Elliot Tyler, and Casey Ferreira.
Yeah.
Um, 3 guys I love being in the ring with and hanging out with, just some of my good buddies. I owe a lot to Elliot Tyler. He will never take a compliment or take anything like that. Um, but he is the absolute man. I owe him a ton. Um, just from a human being standpoint to a wrestling standpoint, right? Like I'm not at the level I'm at right now if I never meet him. Um,
Can
and
you talk
beyond
about
that,
how
like,
that works a little bit? Can you unpack that a little bit more about your relationship with Elliot, how he's helped you?
yeah, help me in the sense of like going and when we're up in Canada, whether it be a place to stay, a place to train, just a good guy to talk to about opportunities, and constantly pushing me to better myself, and I'm trying to constantly push him to better himself, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of this friendly competition, but it's like, look, man, like I want to go as far as I can in this, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I want to go as far as I can, but also I want to push him and push these others and push my friends to be at that too, because it's like not that I would leave them behind, quote unquote, right? But I want to see everybody come up. I want
Yeah,
to bring everybody up too,
absolutely. Yeah.
So getting opportunities and bookings in Canada because of him, and getting opportunities at Prestige because of him, and all these things. So. Just an overall great guy. Don't tell him I said any of this though.
No,
Um,
we'll keep it under wraps.
Yeah, it stays here. I'll,
thank you,
I'll
thank
cut
you.
it out. I'll cut it out.
Yeah, we'll edit
Uh,
that out.
thank you. Casey is one of those guys where he pushes me inside the ring a lot. I love wrestling him because I always learn something new and I always learn something crazy and fun, and it's a push for me, and I want to try and keep up with him because he's just such a phenomenal pro wrestler.
He's
That
very
every time
good.
we've wrestled each other, I've had to step it up and try and keep up with him and in and out of the ring. And he's someone I really look up to a lot as well, in this whole thing, just from a training standpoint as well too, right? Like I remember, um, saw on Instagram like he main evented the Commodore, and like the next night it was him and Elliot working on rolls at the dojo, and it's like, okay, got to keep pushing, got to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And Sid is just a great guy to have around. I love hearing his advice on putting a match together, and getting his help with things and another eye on things, and just hanging out with him and just sharing some laughs. And another one of those guys where he's been around for so long that his wealth of knowledge is top notch. So you can always learn something from him, and taking things here and there. And he's just a big body to have around too. So he's a great
Big
insurance
body to have
policy.
around, I was gonna say.
Sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they tell you, hey, to better yourself, go out there, cut more promos. Is
Yeah.
the first thought to you like, cool, let's do this? Or is it like, holy shit, what do I say? What's going on like in your mind of like
Um,
cutting promos?
both of like, what do I say? How do I make it sound cool? Um, and also like now I have to just put this out there. So it's something I'm still working on. And sometimes I feel like I do a really good job, and that's when the adrenaline's high and everything goes well and everything's awesome. And then sometimes I'm like dragging and I'm like, why was I so monotone and just talking so robotic and it sucks and it's the worst thing ever. So it's hit and miss and it's trying to find my groove with that. But I never want to turn down a challenge. Like I'm 6 foot, 185 pounds, and so I like when you look at other rosters of like guys on TV and everything like that, I don't really have an excuse on why there's something I can't do.
Fair. Yeah.
I'm not too big to like need a mouthpiece and need these things, right? Like I'm not Brock Lesnar. I'm
Right.
not too small to be able to, or too not, too big and too small is crazy, but I'm not small to like have just this crazy in ring like um lucha work and like all these other crazy flips and stuff, right? Like I suck at flips. So I don't have these covers, but I need to learn kind of everything and at least
Right.
like have an understanding of that stuff. And then so why would I not be able to cut a promo? Top guys talk. So
Yeah.
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 You have to have all the skills because
yeah,
you're right in the medium.
yeah,
You're too big for the little guys. You're little for the
yeah,
big guys. So you have to do everything both sides.
exactly.
Um,
Which
I
is
mean,
really fun when it comes to working against those guys, right?
yeah.
Because like a guy's
Yeah.
bigger than me, cool, throw me around. A guy's smaller than me, cool, I'll
Yeah, now I can
base and
throw
everything like
somebody
that.
around.
Exactly. So it's a very fun middle ground to play, but I got to know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Matt Brannigan can teach you some flips. I think he knows
That's
a few.
okay. We don't need to say his name ever again. Thank you.
Oh, it might come up again. But for now we can rewind to how we usually start these. What's your first memory of like professional wrestling? When did that
Yeah.
just come into your life? Did you see it just like in school? Was it like does your family like it? Like talk like how you first knew about professional wrestling.
So my dad was a huge wrestling fan, like before I was alive and everything like that. He was going to shows in Florida and stuff in the 80s and 90s and everything like that. So he's been a fan his whole life. Took a break kind of when I was born.
Mm,
But I remember growing up, we had it might have been Armageddon, Armageddon or some sort of pay-per-view in like 2004 that came to Portland. And there was a chair. It was the poster with Kane on it, and my dad had to like hide the chair because it was scary and I didn't know it was wrestling or anything like that. And
okay.
he went to WrestleMania 19 when it was in Seattle.
Dang.
I
Yeah.
was actually there as well. I was in my mother's womb at the time.
Oh shit.
Um, so I was at WrestleMania 19. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um,
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
so it's always kind of been around, but never understanding what it is. And then
Totally.
when I'm around, I think 8 or 9 years old, I'm scrolling through TV and I keep seeing this thing every week that's like Monday Night Raw. And I'm like, what is this? Why is this thing on my guide like 4 hours
Yeah.
long?
Yeah.
And I have no idea what's going on. So I finally click on it one day and it's November 2012. And it was like the build up to Survivor Series. And this is the stupidest story ever. But I
Oh.
saw Ryback come in as like the fifth man to like Mick Foley's team or something along those lines.
Okay.
And he comes in and he just wrecks house. He catches Cody Rhodes out of a disaster kick, gives him a shell shocked. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing
This is the
ever. And
coolest
I
thing
have,
I've ever seen. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And since then, I've just been hooked.
Awesome. That's great. So like your folks must like have great support for you and be proud
Yeah.
of like going down this path. That's awesome. That it's also part of the family. Uh
Yeah.
so you came in about 2012. Let's talk about guys who, now you know more, but
Mhm.
who kind of influences you when it comes to like you're like, fuck, that's cool. I want to do that. Or like that. Who were
Yeah.
your guys? Who did you like?
I loved Ryback off the start, and that very quickly turned into loving CM Punk. And I
Okay.
was like, this Ryback guy stinks, and then I was a CM Punk guy.
Okay.
His match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania is still like one of my favorite matches of all time.
Yeah. That's
Um,
the earn one, right? That's the
it is,
whole
yeah.
pouring out the pallbearer's urn.
Yeah, I love it. I love it
Yeah.
all.
So good.
Um, so I became a CM Punk guy. That kind of evolved into he left, and then it was Seth Rollins. And then as I found out about the Indies, it turned into the Bullet Club, and then AJ Styles,
Mm.
is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And then now I'm going back through watching a lot of like these Eddie Guerrero matches, and all these other like WCW guys and cruiserweights and everything. And educating myself. So
Gonna
Do
put
you
some
still watch
cruiserweight action
today's?
into your moveset?
sorry, Andy, what was that?
So are you gonna do some cruiserweight action into your moveset now?
Uh, Kind of working on it, working on some things here and there at training where I might jump off something or do a flip or learn how to do a Rana and stuff. But it's just kind of getting comfortable and being light enough on my feet now,
Yeah.
that I'm comfortable doing these things. And I don't want to do them if they look sloppy. I only want to do stuff that like ideally looks good, but obviously it's trial and error. So I'm slowly trying to learn more cool stuff.
I was gonna say, do you still watch televised productions now?
I see the Twitter clips here and there from WWE, AEW, like Ring of Honor, all that stuff. I see a lot of the Twitter clips. I've been really big on just watching like full matches on YouTube.
Okay.
Like if I'm like at the gym, like just walking on the treadmill because I'm supposed to hit like a step count each day. So if
Yeah.
I'm running low, I'll just throw it on the treadmill and just walk. Um, that's kind of been more my bread and butter lately of like, oh, I've heard about this guy. Let me look up one of his matches and I'll watch one of his.
Cool. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
it's a
you're
little
not.
bit of everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I do like I'm up to date on like WWE and AEW and everything like
Nice. Well, what entrant are you in the Royal Rumble this year?
that.
Can you give that away?
Yeah, 31.
31. You're going all the way to Saudi
Uh,
for 31. All right.
yeah, they gave me the wrong date though, so I don't think they really want me there.
Yeah, shitty. It happens. I hear.
Who's your pick for the Royal Rumble?
Dude, I don't know. That's one of those things where I do watch, but not enough. I've heard a
Right.
lot of rumors about like I think the two that are in my mind right now are like Sami Zayn and Gunther are like the two I keep hearing the most about possibly winning it.
Mhm.
Fair.
Um, Beyond that, I don't really have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, Twitter keeps everyone updated, especially in
Yeah,
wrestling.
yeah.
I feel like you miss something and then you see it and you're just like, oh, cool. I don't have to watch the whole show
Yeah,
now.
that's kind of what happened when I found out Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship. I was
Yeah,
scrolling
yeah.
through, and I didn't realize they were in another country. WWE was, and then I
Mm.
looked and I saw the finish, and I thought that was a really great idea. And I saw the whole thing, and I was like, it's just cool to see that they're willing to still take these risks on overseas shows and in different match types and everything like that. We're still keeping everybody on their toes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Um,
Yeah. Andy,
go
take
for it,
it.
Dave. You want me to do it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, what was the turning point for you, like as a character,
Mhm.
in the ring, especially like early in your career, kind of
Yeah,
going like trying to get over with the crowd, but now you don't care. So
yeah.
what's kind of been your perception and guess going into that character?
Um, Realizing that I'd sucked as a babyface originally. Um, and that I kept getting these like little things here and there of like, you look like a babyface, you look like a babyface. But every time I would go and perform, it was like, dude, you got to stop. Like you're coming across the heel, you're doing these
You're kind of a
things.
dick. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of a dick. Like stop doing that. So then eventually I kind of got the okay to just like, all right, let's see what you can do as this heel, and that kind of had much more legs. Um, and so that kind of just naturally took off a little bit better, and it feels much better. I enjoy being babyface when I have been, but it's just so different than what I'm used to doing and what I'm comfortable doing. But it's something
Hmm.
I really want to try doing more.
Is that because you work very aggressively, you think? It's because you like to kind of play rough?
Yeah, I mean I love the control. I love when I have control of the match, and as the heel, like you kind of get more control of the flow and everything. And so
Hmm.
we also just have some phenomenal baby faces in this area, that are just much easier to work with, and you can create some magic there.
One that we will not name here right now.
Yeah. Yeah, please don't. But there's guys like that where you just have kind of natural chemistry with,
Guys like that. Yeah.
where you just have this natural chemistry with, and it helps when, as much as I hate it, and I hate um this guy that I just wrestled twice this last weekend, and other guys like the guy I'm wrestling on Wednesday, and everything like that. As much as I just absolutely despise and hate these guys for one reason or another, um, it's the best hands-on experience you get with getting your character over and working on your character because you're not doing a whole lot in the ring.
That's great. Speaking of stuff in the ring, what are like your top 5 like favorite moves? As like whether it's seeing other wrestlers do it, whether they're ones you want to do, don't do yet, whether they're ones you do. What do you like?
Yeah. God, I am a sucker for a good drop kick. I love when somebody's just got a beautiful drop kick.
Dude, we talk about that a lot on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those where if it's done like mediocre or like less than average or just kind of normal, it's like, okay, I just saw a drop kick. But when you see like a 10 out of 10, like
Yeah.
it's the best wrestling move in my opinion. I love it.
That's great.
A lot of
pick. Love that pick.
a lot of it comes down to execution too, right? Like so drop kick, because we're gonna go drop kick number 1. I love a good back body drop. Love a good brain buster. Those are just really fun to give.
Ooh, good
But
one.
a little scary sometimes.
Yes, they're horrifying to watch.
I've been trying to get better at my kicks lately. So I love a good like roundhouse, like high kick. And number 5, I just started doing flying Euros or flying European uppercuts. Those are really fun. But I'm really big on like the silhouette of moves and like how people move and make them look different.
Okay.
So it kind of just depends on the way guys move, which is why another reason I'm like an AJ Styles guy a lot, is the way he'll like pump fake his legs and stuff. And if you watch like his knee drop versus like a Ric Flair knee drop, you know exactly who did it. Or if you watch Bret Hart do a suplex versus Eddie Guerrero do a suplex, you know which one's which. So I'm very big on those little things, and it's something I'm trying to work on to create my own like way of doing these like simple-esque like textbook moves, but making them look a little bit different.
And I love guys like Bret Hart where there's a very succinct set of moves that work towards the sharpshooter, like an atomic drop, the back body. He's got a great back body. He did a couple drop kicks here and there, but like, you know, there were things from Bret Hart that you knew he was going to bust out during the match. And like Bret Hart's like one of my favorite guys, but like that's one of the reasons too, is just like he had a very built-in system of stuff. And then when you saw him go outside of that, you knew he was like exhausting his options. And he was getting taken to the limit. I love that shit. Awesome. On the topic of drop kicks, dude, yeah, man, you got to be crisp and like really arc back, in my opinion. Most underrated drop kick I think was Bob Holly. He had like a hardcore Holly had an amazing drop kick for his character and for his work.
See it.
Dude,
I know I've heard about it, and I've heard obviously I've heard the name.
Hardcore Holly.
I've heard him talked about drop kicks, but I have not. It's not playing in the back of my mind.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Who's the one that's on your mind for drop kicks? Who's your?
My AJ Styles.
Okay.
AJ.
Yeah, best drop kick, I think. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
You ever see Mark Jindrake's? I always say it because it's dude, it's so freaking high. He goes the elevation on that thing. My God.
I love when it looks like they kind of, it's a mixture of like a twist and like a drop salt at the same time. So it's not the full backflip. I don't like that personally. It's just enough to the side where you can kind of spin through and it looks really good.
Yeah, I think you got a dolphin arc a little bit too. Like, when you talk about silhouettes, it's got to be that like, whoop, there's like a lot of kinetic movement instead of like kind of just like
Yeah,
instead of just jumping up and putting your legs out, there's like
exactly. Which is like that's when you're watching wrestling, like, oh, that was a drop kick. Versus like, oh my God, that
yeah,
was.
like dude,
There's like an elegance to it. Yeah,
yeah,
a
and
fanciness to it. God,
yeah, you got to put spice on it, dude.
exactly.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your small appearance in the WWE TV last year? It was last year, right? For 2025.
Yes, correct. So I was
How was that, man?
fortunate.
Like that's a great get to do.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I had the opportunity to reach out and get chosen to do some extra work backstage. I don't know too much. I'm like there. I mean, there's not much to really kind of talk about. Just it's the coolest
Yeah.
thing ever. You're backstage. You're helping out. Um, and then occasionally you're given some opportunities to maybe go out in the arena and do X, Y, and Z, just depending on what they need you for. But it's the coolest experience ever. And it's insane to just like see the production of it all. To go
Right, yeah.
from like
Crazy.
these indie promotions, and then you just really realize why this is the next level. It's the coolest thing ever. That's the summary of it. It's the coolest thing
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. Was there anything else on your
I mean, let's see. You got a big year coming up.
Yeah.
We're gonna not do your end of the year list or your goals.
Yeah.
You've still got the DOA Pure Championship.
Yep.
What is that like? How do you view your title reigns? We won't split them up. It was only 24
Okay.
hours.
Yeah. Actually, we will include it, and I'll dive into that a little bit
it's
later.
two-time?
Okay, so let's go with the first.
Two-time champ.
Yeah,
Two-time.
let's go with your first run. How was that carrying the gold? How was that learning? You know, hey, you're up against this guy with a title. You're gonna take it. You're gonna not. You have a challenge ahead of you. Like, talk about that. That's huge. Being a champion.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's the coolest thing ever. Being able, it's just like yeah, you hear there's a mixture of different reactions from other wrestlers, right? But ultimately,
Totally.
if you don't want to be champion or you're not a champion, right? Like it should be everybody's goal because it shows that the promotion has trust and has faith in you. That's really what it is. Yeah, it's a piece of leather and metal, but it's
It's a
what
really
it
cool looking one,
symbolizes,
though.
right? Yeah, it's really cool. Nobody else has one. Like there's 60 guys on the roster and I'm the champion of them. Like, yeah, of course it means something. It is a stamp, it's the biggest stamp of approval you can get. Um, so I want to do everything I can to right now, like I have the Pure Championship viewed, sorry, as like the workhorse championship of DOA.
Yeah.
And since winning it, I have defended on every single show, every single DOA show that I've been a part of. I've been in some sort of championship match, which is huge because it's just like, hey, here's all the work you're putting in. We believe in you. Like, let's do this. Because DOA is not a small promotion by any means. Um, and so being able to do that, and then hearing the night before that, hey, you and Ryan Clancy are going to be the main event of this show the next night. And hey, we're bringing in these guys for you. And hey, you're going to wrestle Cody Chun now. And it's all of these opportunities that come with it. And it's the fact that, like, with all due respect, Drake Quan had a great reign, but I like to think
Very
I might
long.
have put a little bit more prestige on it and kind of raised the bar, you know? And it's ultimately like I want to elevate this to where do I want to be grand champion? Of course. But as far as I'm concerned, with this belt on my shoulders and the quality of matches that I'm having and the level that I'm putting this thing at, it's just as good, if not better than that grand championship right now, right? Why wouldn't this be the ultimate prize? So nobody's elevating it to this level right now. No other championship is being defended this much. No other championship is having this quality of matches, right? Um, so I want to raise it to that next level.
All right. It's going. So that's what we're doing with the second title reign.
This next one is just it's right. It was such a cool moment to be able to have this match with Matt Brannigan. Oh my God.
Said it. You said it.
I did.
Hey.
But man, there is nothing quite like when I get pinned on the Saturday. And I watched the video back a lot because it's like this gratifying feeling of everybody's jumping and shouting. You see the whole crowd stand up
Yeah.
and we're match one and everybody's so happy. And then having that as like the reaction, and I was just torn up. I lost my championship, right? Like I don't know what's next.
Right.
And then the next night winning it back. And I'm realizing when we're in Independence, like people aren't booing me, like what's going on? And then I realized, oh no, they're absolutely pissed. Like
Dead
they're
quiet.
just mad. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so um having that mixed amount of reaction based off of like if I win or lose and if Matt wins or loses, having that is like the coolest thing ever because it means that I am forming this connection that I've wanted to. That yeah, they want to see me lose. They're not going to for quite some time now, but the next time it happens, nobody's perfect. It's going to happen, right? The next time it happens, they're gonna be there for it.
They had a chance, you know. They saw that
It was like a
small
little
moment.
taste. It was a little taste.
Yeah, and it's not gonna happen again, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
I
is there
learned from my mistakes.
yeah.
It's
Is
important.
is there
Yeah.
a specific match for you like within the last year since coming back that kind of just
Mhm.
felt to you like this is the version that of you that really works?
Um, I guess I mean there's so many because there's so many different competitors, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously the match with Cody where we get match of the year.
It was a
Um,
great match.
and so that's awesome. And then I also like to think like, I think my breakout moment really was the second time. I don't know, I wrestled him like 20 times this year. But the second time I wrestled Drake Kwan, I believe it was in May.
Yeah.
Where we did our first time limit draw. And I just remember like getting to the back, we did the 15 minutes and everything, and it was just like everything went to plan, everything was great, everything was awesome, and it was kind of this moment of like, okay, I've been making up the numbers, quote unquote, right? But here's what I can do. Like I think that really got a lot of good attention and a lot of eyes on me. It was kind of like my breakout moment of like, this is what I can do. Um, and hopefully it's only been up from there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that they've been great matches, man. Like honestly. Um,
Thank you.
and it's been great to see you just evolve and like transform into now like the
Hmm.
performer that you are. So
Hmm.
every time we
Thank you.
go, I'm the only one cheering for you.
True.
Danny.
But
It's
he's out
okay. I'll
there.
take it. I need somebody. I need somebody, man.
I just remember the last DOA show and it was just like dead quiet. And then with Cody, and then I'm the only
Yeah.
one cheering. It's like, hey, there's got to be somebody. Come on.
There's got to be somebody out there. I
Yeah,
need somebody to push me. I'm still a human. I still like to be cheered. There's nothing wrong with that. Like people might not like my antics, but I still want people to cheer me. I still want people to make noise.
yeah.
He wants fans, ladies and gentlemen. He wants
I want
fans.
fans. I want to sell merch. I'm trying to make money here.
He's trying to print money, dude. Lighters. That's the way to
Buy
go.
my stuff.
Got to print lighters. Everybody
Got
needs
it.
lighters.
All right.
So like hotcakes, whether they like you or not, they always need them.
People need
This is
lighters.
true.
People
Yeah,
do.
that's my plug as a merch peddler myself.
Thank you. I'll get on that.
Let's see. Mount Rushmore, Andy. What else you got?
Yeah, let's take it away. Let's do that.
Mount Rushmore. Who's your wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Oh God, I don't even know if I have one, dude.
Just name. All you got to do is name 4.
Yeah, I know, but there's so much that goes into this that I don't know if I need to
It's
watch
never
more
easy.
wrestling. No, it's not. Because like, do I go like more attitude era guys? Do I go like more new generation guys? I need like a step barrier. Like it
It's
can't just be
kind
all of wrestling.
of
Yeah.
like who sculpted Cole
Yeah.
Rivera.
Yeah. Who
as
sculpted
we,
you?
As we know, Cole in the ring. It's kind of like who built that.
So just like
Who-
my 4 just kind of favorite wrestlers, I guess. If I say Mount Rushmore, somebody of my 200 followers on Twitter is gonna freak out, and they're all just the boys. My 4. I've been really big. I mean, this is gonna be simple answers. I've been loving like Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan,
Okay.
all of his work, whether it be in Ring of Honor, WWE, everything like that. There's
Yep.
something you can take away there.
Mm-hmm.
I love Daniel Bryan. I love been really big on like Eddie Guerrero lately, of course. I've said his name 8 million times, so I gotta say AJ Styles.
I was
Um,
waiting for that. Yeah.
yeah, and then last, I think we're just gonna go CM Punk. Just play it safe. Like those are my guys through and through. It's ever changing, so if you ask me again in 2 minutes, I will give you four completely different wrestlers.
Totally. It's a living. Usually people struggle with those last two. There's usually like
Yeah,
two really locked in, and then the fight for the third and fourth.
yeah,
But
It's always tough because it's like, at least for me, it's like nostalgia factor, this, that, you know.
yeah. And it's if I want to go back into like older stuff, then we got to incorporate like your Shawn Michaels and your Stone Colds and everything like that. But
yeah,
there's
I
so many
mean,
different things that go into it.
Yeah.
and there's also evolutions of those guys too. Like
Exactly.
to your point, I would consider AJ an evolution of Shawn Michaels,
Yeah, exactly.
and
And
so on
even
and
the
so.
performers themselves. Like I love like 2000s like Ring of Honor Bryan Danielson when he's just murdering people left and right and stretching them out and stuff.
Absolutely. That's a pretty formidable one though. So we're coming towards the end. Cole, this is your time to plug your shit. Where can people find you? Where can they buy your merch? Where are you going to be this year? Floor is yours. Whoa, wait.
Where
There you go. Sorry.
my back?
Yeah,
You're
you're
back.
back.
So sorry. Where am I gonna be? I'm gonna be everywhere. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of me everywhere, and I mean this sincerely. I have not revealed this yet, but in September I will be going to Germany, to train and
Oh,
wrestle and do a bunch of stuff there.
Woo!
I'll be going to Canada a bunch this year, North America. I want to be on the East Coast this year. I want to be on the West Coast. I want to be in Middle America. What's it? I almost said the Middle East, not the Middle East. The Midwest. There it is.
Yeah.
I'll go to the Middle East too. Put me in the Royal Rumble. I don't
Yeah,
care.
he'll
there you
wrestle.
go.
He'll wrestle.
I want to wrestle everywhere. I want to wrestle at the highest level I can. I want to wrestle for as many promotions, as many different guys as I can, right? I want to be everywhere. Um, so that's where you can find me. Instagram is my bread and butter. It's at Cole Rivera Pro. Twitter, I honestly suck at. I believe that's Cole Rivera _ PW for pro wrestler. Um, Everything else, like, I don't know, Instagram's my bread and butter. You can buy my merch at shows if you see me. If you want something sent to you, message me. I'll ship it out. I don't care. I need to actually promote that more. Thank you for reminding me. Getting some new shirts made in the next month. I will be at this last Prestige Wrestling event. I will be at the show at Oregon Pro Wrestling School. I will be at the next Roseland. I will be at DOA the next night. It's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be awesome. Just watch wrestling and I will hopefully show up.
He's working.
I'll be working. I'll be putting in the miles.
Thank you so much for your time, Cole Rivera. Super appreciate it. Look forward to what you have in store for us in the future. Andy, you want to play us out?
Yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this, and thank you, Cole, for being here. You guys can all follow us at Pacific Wrestling Network on all socials. You can find our link tree on Instagram, so anything there you can find. And yeah, remember,
Be glorious.